do-it-yourself shark-shaped beach or pool towel rack. Now, I started with a piece of PVC, and I just drew a cartoon type shark onto it. I really just looked online, found a fairly easy to draw cartoon, and just kind of copied it off onto a piece of PVC. I then used a jigsaw to cut out the shape, and then the main tool for this job is going to be an angle grinder with a flap sanding wheel. And with that, I'm going to fine-tune the actual shape, and then also carve down the fins so that the body kind of stands out from the fin, or the fin is set back from the body. And then I'll use the same tool to round over all of the hard edges, all of the corners, and kind of shape the fish a little bit. I'll also use that angle grinder to carve away that bottom pectoral fin. And I chose PVC so it would hold up to the elements. You know, if you can make the same thing out of wood, costs a little bit more out of PVC, but you know, theoretically it will last forever. It'll never dry rot. So the benefits far outweigh the little bit of additional cost. Now I'm using that same angle grinder to carve out the tail, and none of this is hard. PVC actually carves easier than wood. It's softer. I'm using a 60 grit flap sanding wheel, and I'm using a very light touch. If you leaned into it, this would cut right through the board very quickly. So you have to use a light touch. I'm going to carve down the teeth a little bit, and later when we paint this, I'll just mask those with painter's tape, so that when I paint the gray shark and remove the painter's tape, they'll still be white teeth. So just carving them back a little bit so they're a little bit recessed. After I'm done with the angle grinder, I just go to an oscillating sander. I get rid of all of those deep, cut grind lines with a 80 grit and then 120 grit. After that, I added a little bit of detail with a Dremel grinder with a cutoff wheel. I just added the gills, 3 curved lines for the gills. And you can use these just as fence fish, decorative, by the pool, or in this case, I'm going to make a towel rack out of it. Now, I use painter's tape on the teeth, and then I'm just giving it a base coat of a light gray. And then I'm going to spray some black and some dark gray up towards the top of the shark. Most fish are darker on the top, lighter on the bottom. Once this dries, I remove the painter's tape. You can see the teeth really stand out nicely. For the additional detail of the eye, I just cut out an oval out of self-adhesive vinyl, and then a black dot out of the same type of self-adhesive vinyl. I drilled a 1/2-inch hole, and I inserted a 1/2-inch dowel. That'll hold the towel. And I did that kind of at the base of the mouth, so that on the wall or on the fence, it's actually going to look like the shark is biting the towel when he's holding it. I'm using an epoxy resin from TotalBoat.com called their Maker Epoxy. And you mix it slowly for 2 parts. You mix it slowly for about 5 minutes. You pour it on, spread it out with a paintbrush. And then I use a little butane torch just to go over it, warm up the resin a little bit. And that allows any bubbles that are trapped in the mix to reach the surface and dissipate. So you end up with a nice clear finish. And this is the final product. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.